Shalom, it's your brother Yerah, giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahawadah, give me the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom to the elect of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whom the Lord will have mercy on in these latter days. Shalom to the men of the Lord, the prophets that are preaching and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, shalom. And I have another lesson, quick, Lord willing. I try to pop these in and out and get as much so like your edification as I can with the various precepts. But what I'll probably title this is and gave no account of our labors. I'll just play this video here, and it's going into why Juneteenth is now being celebrated this year so heavy, and the origins of it and where it came from with like slavery and capitalism. So without further ado, let's just let it play. Well, one reason is because Esau is stoking racial tensions on purpose. It's always been there, but now he's trying to make that flame into a roaring fire because he's getting ready to move. You know. There you have it. This is how capitalism came about. A massive amount of stolen labor, basically. This whole industrial revolution, all all the headway that they've made with technology and rapidly transporting all those crops that she named, rice, sugar, cotton, all of that was done on the massive enterprise that was the transatlantic slave trade, and trillions upon trillions of wealth, dollars and wealth. So like yeah, was made. Now you have to ask now, this is stolen labor, you know? So stolen means we didn't owe you anything. Now there are scriptures that will say, you know, servitude is lawful, you know, but there are rules, you know. You can't break the law, you know. There are restrictions on it, but most importantly, uh, slavery is dealing with paying back a debt. You know, a brother has to owe you something for him to work for you for some time, or even a heathen. There has to be some type of debt being paid. You know, so the question is, what did we owe the so-called white man who is Esau Edom? We didn't owe him a damn thing, and they came and rounded us up. This is Exodus 21 and 16. It says, "And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death." So this one scripture alone has a great judgment for Esau Edom, just based on the fact of what he did to our forefathers. Just that one, just stealing us, not all the beating, not all the sadistic rape and torture, and just that freak uh, uh, genetic that they have, that they would rape a grown man in front of his family, in front of his wife, you know. Uh, Not even including all of that. Not even including taking our identity. Just this one thing, just taking us, the apple of the Lord's eye, stealing us, you know, and we didn't get paid a goddamn thing off of this. Look at that, Negroes. Because Esau wants to do away with all of this. You know, even Christianity want to make you forget. See, in Christianity, they don't they don't go into this. They don't give you the why did things happen and why are things are going to happen. They don't go into prophecy. You know, there's no explanation of who you are and what anything means. You know, the scriptures tell you. You know, this is Deuteronomy 28:33. This is a curse that the Most High. As a matter of fact, let me go up. Let me see if I can see where it says it. Um, these are the blessings here. Deuteronomy 28:1, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, the Lord Yahweh thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth. You know, that's if we listen to the Most High. And all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Now it goes into it, I believe, down to verse 12, all of the blessings that we get. Um, Slovakia. Verse 15 says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I commanded thee this day, that all these curses shall come up on thee and overtake thee. So the scriptures are telling you why we went into slavery, basically, why these curses are upon us. You know, it's quite clear in detail, and you're not gonna learn it in no goddamn Christian church, man. What they're gonna do is tell you a bunch of happy scriptures to get you in a good mood to donate tithes, you know. But those people don't give a damn about you, you know. So let's read one of the curses that will happen to us if we didn't listen. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up. So the Lord is saying that another nation will come and take us and eat up all of our labors, meaning we're gonna work for free, you know. Any fruit that we yield from our lands, that's going to be gone, you know. And any labor that we do, that another heathen's going to eat it up. Now, who's this heathen? Now we know today that this was Esau, Edom. This was prophesied for us to go into captivity under this man's kingdom. And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed alway. You know, that is why we're here, you know. That's why this whole thing went on for hundreds of years. Now, a massive event that went on for hundreds of years, and they're still going to try to erase it out the history books. And she's going to go into it, you know. Now, you might ask, like, why would the Lord do this? You know, why would He? So this is one example here in Ezekiel, and there's many times that we went off that the prophets had to get on us, you know. This is Ezekiel 23:28. For thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest. And we have a perpetual hatred with the with the with the Edomites, the nation of Edom, Esau. I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest, into the hand of them whom thy mind is alienated, and they shall deal with thee hatefully, and shall take away all thy labor, and shall leave thee naked and bare. You know, doesn't that sound exactly like what's happened to us over here in America? You know, and this thing is repeated on and on. Jeremiah had to get on us. Isaiah had to get on all these various captivities where we just kept going off. And it tells you right there in the curses that what would happen to us if we went off. Hey, the Most High doesn't lie, man. Hey, he keeps his promises. He does what he says he's going to do. the end of the day. And the nakedness of thy whoredom shall be discovered, both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. And what do we do? The northern tribes, the Southern Americans, so-called Southern Americans, you know, the Brazilians, so-called Venezuelans, so-called Cubans. What are they into? Heavy Catholicism, idol worship, you know, Santeria, Voodoo, the Southern Kingdom, Levi. They're all into everything that's not the Most High, even to this day. You know, and you wonder why we're under these curses, and the Most High is literally going to have to put a fleshy heart in us. He's going to have to supernaturally save us, destroy the remnant that's just in their spirit to just be rebellious until the kingdom, and set this whole thing up. You know. Now I'm digressing, but let me get back to this story here. Right, because ultimately they're trying to phase it out. You know, they want us to just forget it happened. You know, don't worry about it. You know, let it ride. You know, but the Most High didn't forget what we did. We had to pay. You know, we if the apple of the Most High's eye is has to pay for the sins that they've done, you don't think Edom's gonna have to pay for what he did? You know, this is a great punishment, man, to be delivered into the hands of your enemies, and they deal with you hate, man. Slavery was man, and you get Zechariah. This is why you heathens really have to pay, in Esau. This is Zechariah 1:15. It says, "I am very sore displeased with the heathen, that they that are at ease, because this is their kingdom. Basically, they're winning. They're getting a leg up over the men of the Lord, the nation who has the birthright." It says, "For I was but a little displeased, and they held forward the affliction." So the Most High, as you see it here, you know, He's angry with us going into Ezekiel, and He did punish us, but He was but a little displeased. He said, you know, and they held forward the affliction. So what do you have coming to you? You know, ask yourself that, Esau. You know, but getting back to this, them trying to slowly erase the history of it. Right, they did. So let me get Psalms 109 and 4 real quick. Uh, because they want to us to just move on and forget it. But Psalms 109 and 14 says, "Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out." So we're not to move on from things that were committed, the blood that was committed on us. I don't have Numbers 35. I can guess I can get it. Uh, let's see, Numbers 35. I believe it's 33. We're not to forget. Salakia. Here it is. Numbers 35 and 33 says, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." That's the law, you know. That's the law. says, defile not therefore the land which ye shall inhabit, wherein I dwell, for I, the Lord, dwell among the children of Israel. Did Esau care about this law when he was out here spreading his Christianity nonsense bullshit? Did he care about this? This entire land, every single state, every highway, there's blood everywhere in this land. And ultimately, that's why this place is just going to be a giant sacrifice, you know? He's going to completely and utterly destroy this place, you know? Because you're going off, you know, for lack of a better phrase, you know? Right. They're talking about the British and how they came out. Now, Daniel uh, 7 goes into it. This is Daniel 7 and 23. So she says we didn't invite the British, the Americans that came out of the British. It says, he, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. That is Babylon the Great. That is America, the only nation that at the height of its power is able to do that. And now, where did this beast come from? This America. It says, and the 10 horns out of his kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Now, those 10 kings are coming out of those crowns of Europe, you know, but Spain, France, England being of them. Now those three kings are France, England, and Spain. And it says, and he shall be diverse from the first, which was England, and he shall subdue 3 kings, meaning he's going to repel the English and the Spanish off, and eventually they just paid him for the land, and they claimed it as their own territory, you know. And that took up about 1850 that happened, you know. And you know, some more accounts going on a little bit after that, but basically the landmass as we know is America. California was a state basically by the year 1850, you know. And Esau was, you know, killing our brothers, Gad and Issachar over there out in the west. Um, it says, and the 10 horns. All right. It says, and he shall speak great words, talking about this beast, against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. That is the transatlantic slave trade. Straight up wore us out. You know, used our labor for free, and now he's trying to erase it and thinks to change times and laws. This is the devil, you know. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. And that time is basically over. Pursuant to Ezekiel, those dry bones are now living. That flesh is coming back upon us. The house of David is being rebuilt. The tabernacle of David. That temple, the third temple, that's us, the men of the Lord, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, that time is over with now. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it unto the end. You know. Actually, I'll read this because this part is good. This is the gospel piece, you know. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. So that's what's coming, you know. This here, Daniel 7 and 27, that's our birthright. The entire planet Earth. Not some patch of land in Africa, you know. Not a city somewhere over here in Babylon. That's our birthright. Let's go. And that losing side was that those one of those 3 kings that they subdued. You know. Well, I'll have to get it. Right, because Esau is the goddamn devil. And the devil means to deceive, you know. Now, why would they do that? You know, this is Psalms 83 and 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they hate, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance, because ultimately that's what they're doing. They want to cut off any historical analysis, any looking into the past at all, because they know that they weren't able to hide everything. And in the age of the internet, this information age, it's all coming out. It's all being brought out through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. You know, so they want to cut us off from that history because they know who we are. You know, this is proof how much effort that they're putting into hiding history. What is there to hide? You know, on one hand, they're trying to make us forget about it, but on the other hand, they'll say, "Oh, it wasn't us." So if it wasn't you, then what do you have to be ashamed about? You know, because they know deep down in their spirit that they're condemned. You know, that ultimately there has to be a judgment. You know, as King David said in Psalms 109, "Let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord." You know, so this has to happen. And while I'm here, I'll just go ahead and get Isaiah uh, 14, Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, prepare slaughter for the children, or his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the faces of the world with cities. And that's what Esau should have done to us, to be honest. See, if they would have obeyed Isaiah's word here, hey, it wasn't the will of the Heavenly Fathers anyway, but, you know, Esau, if he was smart, he would have tried to just slaughter us instead of enslaving us and trying to hide our identity and do all this other matter of wickedness. But it's the will of the Most High that he wasn't able to do that. But this is what he has coming to him. The Most High hasn't forgotten. You know. Only 8%. So Edomites are replacing why the Civil War happened. You know, slowly and surely in this curriculum. Because how the hell does 8% only know uh, that slavery was? Our people make up at least 15%. You know, so how the hell does only 8% know that the Civil War was linked to slavery? You know, this shows you that this man is he's trying to cut us off. You know, from being a nation. He doesn't want us asking too many questions about, history and slavery and what happened and all the details. All you need to know is that it was bad and that, our forefathers did it a long time ago and we moved on from that now. That's what Esau is on now, you know, because the last thing he wants is for Jake to wake up in mass, but it's going to happen anyway. There's going to be an event where a very large group, and it's already a large group now, but it's going to hit a critical mass, and the Most High is going to start moving at a very, very rapid pace, and things are going to turn up even more so than they have in 2020 so far, I should say. But Esau is never going to do anything related with reconciling the truth ever, because he's the devil. You know, there's a reason we call him that. But they're not really making amends. This is really just lip service. Them taking down statues, passing these bullshit laws. You know, talking about defunding the police. All of this this vanity, you know, and meanwhile they're doing all this and won't even entertain giving you niggas reparations because they ultimately don't think that they owe us anything. They think that we should just get over it. We're just a lower class of human, and we should just get on with our lives the best way we can, even though 99% of the wealth is already locked into to white Edomite societies. You know, we should just figure it out the best way we can. We're not getting anything, and we're still going to tax you to fund wars overseas and other Edomites, and this is madness. You know, deep down in the spirit, they're never going to do what this lady is saying. They're never going to reconcile the truth. They're never going to truly pay us back or set things right. And this is why the Lord has to come back because they don't believe that they owe us. And that's all I really have on that video, really. And I'll conclude it with this. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. You know? So that's really what the thing boils down to. He's never going to make account of our labors. And that's why we're going to have to stand boldly before him and and uh, and ultimately we're going to rule over them. You know, scriptures say with the rod of iron. You know, it says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. When they see it, they shall be troubled with fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation." Why? Because those chariots are going to roll up. These so-called UFOs are going to have to deliver us out of this situation. Because this man, his spirit is not upright, you know, as it says in Habakkuk. He doesn't have the ability to do the right thing, you know. He wasn't created to do that, you know. It's like trying to fit, you know, a square in a circle. So far beyond all that they look for, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. We fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor, because they never thought we were going to come back up. We were going to wake back up. We were completely destroyed. You know, we're killing each other in our neighborhoods now. There's Planned Parenthood. We're getting used to abortions and uh, and just being destroyed, basically. You know, we've gotten conditioned to it. You know, and that is true, but that's really only true for 2/3 of our people. The Most High will wake up at least a 1/3 remnant of our people. Well, He will wake up a 1/3 remnant of our people. Salakia. You know, it says we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of God and his lot among the saints? Because we're just a bunch of niggas. If you look at us, you know, they're going to look at us. And these are the people of God that all the scriptures were talking about. You know, just how it says here uh, well in Isaiah, I believe it's Isaiah 14. Is it 14? Where it says, and we shall narrowly look upon him. It says, is this the man that made the earth to tremble? Well, you know, conversely, it says, how is he numbered among the children of God? They're going to look at us and be like, these are the saints. These are everyone that's looked down upon and is known as the low lives all over the planet Earth, really. Because if you go to China, Japan, you know, all of Europe, they look down upon us, you know. Even Ephraim will have a contemptuous look upon us, you know, thanks to the curses, you know. So this is the end game of the Most High, you know. So I hope I did this video justice. Hopefully you brothers were edified. Um, Call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rachakwadash Wa Abba Babal.